high card only. Just above that, 1 pair. Aces are the high pair. 2 pair is higher still. 3 of a kind, the next one up. That's self-explanatory, also called a set. And then a straight is above 3 of a kind. That's 5 cards in a row of any suit. A flush is 5 cards of the same suit in any order. Full house is 3 of a kind plus a pair. 4 of a kind, self-explanatory really. And a straight flush is what you're looking for. That's 5 cards in a row, all of the same suit. Royal flush is top of the pops. That is a straight flush, ace high. Robin's been on the scene for quite a while.
Very cagey.
He counts Gary Jones and, well, he's among one of his best friends. He's knows all, and he's been on the high stakes scene for some time.
Call.
Jim Britton with a hand.
Call.
Robin Keston putting money in with anything at the moment. Couple of jacks out. Could be interesting.
This game has taken on the appearance of a very cagey affair, hasn't it? It might just be early. There is an 8 out there, isn't there?
Check. Check. All checked.
Once again, the problem in this situation is how do you get paid? Oh, you might get
Okay.
paid now. Oh, Jim Britton.
6,000.
What a hand. He's just picked up a full house, and nobody could perceive that. This could be another player walking out the door.
Call.
Well, Jim's just called. Paul Merle's got some outs to make the best hand here. Any jack, any king, and another 8. Anything else, and you wonder how much Jim Britton can extract. His best bet, Steve, might have been to raise the turn here.
Possibly, yes. Does Merle think that possibly Jim Britton's got a king with a jack or a king with a... Oh no. Goodbye.
That's really slowed the action.
Oh, that's a worry.
10,000.
What a boost. That's a worry for both players.
I wonder if Jim Britton knows that he's bluffing.
I think Merle thinks he's behind. Why did Jim Britton call with a on the flop?
Yeah.
He must have had a king. Merle now thinks possibly he's got the worst hand. Does he just call it? He's got a raise just for a bit of information.
Cool.
He does think he's got the king.
Nah, full house. Oh, very nice.
That is odd. The action slowed way down there. 8's full beating 3's full. And Merle catching his card on the river. Little did he know
Who'd that
Yes,
guys?
me, yeah.
that that's what saved him.
Yeah.
When he said very nice, he thought he'd lost.
He really did. Both players have a full house, but when the hands get ranked, it's the 3 of a kind that means it. And 3's full do not beat 8's full of kings. So Paul Merle has the best hand.
Stay.
Steve, that pot could have been much bigger than it ended up being, couldn't it have?
Well, obviously Merle didn't see he had the full house. Did he? Could he have missed that? I don't know. When Jim Britton said full house, he went very nice. Not very nice. I've got a bigger one.
Yeah.
Did he miss it? He had a full house. Wow.
It never occurred to him.
I tell you what, when you get on the television tables, I've been there. Sometimes your brain goes completely out the window. And Jim Britton, counting himself a little unlucky. Perhaps you're right there, Jesse.
7,000 total.
That raise before the flop may have.
Pass.
Well, actually, as it turned out, he probably would have been walking out the door. But
Yeah.
Raised all in.
now he's lost the plot. He's had enough.
Oh my. A pair of 4s limped in. The raise is only to 7,000, and Britton has come over the top for about 80.
He's going to probably be okay, but if he's run into a big hand,
71,000 total.
there's nothing wrong with doing that. That's a very strong bet in many ways. It's not losing the plot at all. It's just trying to get things going, I suppose.
And he'll show it for a bit of advertising. He was using a sledgehammer when a toothpick or a tweezer would have done. Jim Britton. Well, I think there was a little steam coming out of his ears there from the last hand. He's an emotional guy.
There's just different degrees of losing the plot, that's all.
I don't want to drop any more, do I, Steve? When you double me up, I want it to be reasonable.
Jim Britton, well known online as a sort of a personality there. They call him the Celtic Tiger. And He can type as fast as he can talk, that's for sure. But he's had quite a lot of success there on the internet, and has also had a bit of success in
Raised
the
to
live
success
play as
on
well.
title.
Made a final table in a European tournament just last month.
Call. Pass.
There's been a raise of 6,000 here by Jim Britton,
Pass.
and Robin Keston has called quickly behind him with a pocket pair.
I can still
Shields
see your eyes, you know.
thinking
Can't read them.
with the Jack 4. Not too sure what he's thinking that strongly about. Trying to
Pass.
talk himself into getting in the game, perhaps. So it's King 10, unsuited, against a pair of 7s.
I don't know who you like in this matchup, but Robin Keston does have the advantage of position for the entire time he's in this tournament against
Check.
Jim Britton. He'll let Jim act first,
Check. Red checked.
and it's gone check, check. This pair of 7s looking good right now.
Check.
Yeah. Can Jim Britton bring himself to bet in this situation?
Red checked.
Robin Keston's very suspicious.
I think if Jim now does put any money in, he'll get called. No,
Okay.
not bothering. He's very worried about.
Or a pair. Pair, yeah. Good enough.
I mean, it seemed almost like Robin Keston thought that if he bet out there, he might be facing another all-in raise. That it's almost like that's what Jim was threatening with the last hand, and Robin just decided to play it very defensively, which is interesting considering his stack size.
All those free cards I give you.
Let's take a look at how the blinds work in Texas Hold'em. Every poker hand begins with the placing of the button and the posting of the blinds. The button is a disc that represents the nominal dealer. The blinds are forced bets to get the action started. The player to the left of the button puts in the small blind. The player on his left puts in the big blind, usually double the small. Action for this first round of betting will move to the left of the big blind. The button moves to the left with each hand, and the blinds are raised throughout the game to keep the action going.
Call. Pass.
Looking a bit, looking a bit frustrated with things at the moment is Jim. Ace 4 of spades just called, and the Queen 10
Raise.
raises up. Robin Keston doing very well with the Queen in his
7,000 more.
hand at the moment.
9,000.
The lemon
Pass.
throws away Ace 7. Bovis gets rid
Pass.
of another Queen.
This was the original limper. Robin's made kind of a big raise here. I mean,
Call.
not a huge raise, but 8,000 more, 4 times the bet. I
Yeah.
don't think he was looking for action there.
No, and the trouble for Shields is what happens if an ace does come now? You can't believe he's in front. That's a problem.
It certainly is. I'd be much happier with the spade flush, and he's well on his way here.
15,000.
And Robin Keston's got an open-ended straight draw, 8 or king, to make him the nut straight.
When he raised with a flush draw beforehand, there's not much
Oh.
difference between a flush draw and a straight draw in the amount of cards with one card to come.
There's not. Little does Robin know that if it comes a spade, though, 8 or king, he'll be in jeopardy.
15,000.
He's bet again. He is in front, so he may think it's a bluff, but it isn't actually. It's the winning hand as we look at it.
Matt Shields, bet once, got called, bet again.
Well, when you've called once, to some degree, you've wasted the money if you don't call again. It gets more expensive. He has got the money to waste, so to speak, but the pot size, 66,000. He's been asked a question, and it's roughly the right answer to try and hit his straight. But of course, a couple of the spades wouldn't help him. So
Pass.
good